Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. How is everybody doing out there today? How is everybody doing out there today? I'm jumping straight from one heaven to the next. Straight from the garden to the pasture, feeding the sheep. You know what I'm talking about? That's how we doing it today. Welcome to G.O.C.C. Media. I'm Elder Rawchaa, your host tonight. And I know that you want to tune into this topic today. Aren't you tired of being tired? No. What is Elder talking about today? I knew people want to come on this. Aren't you tired of being tired? Because everybody's tired of something. But, well, tonight I'm talking about what I said we would speak about in a few weeks. And that was this beautiful, beautiful thing right here. Copper. The whole world is tired. Not every single person, obviously, but a lot of people are tired. And they tired of being tired. You got older people, young people, older, all in between. And they tired of being tired. They say, I'm doing everything right. I'm taking this, I'm taking that. What is going on? What is going on with me? I don't know. I don't understand. Right? But we are going to, through the Holy Spirit tonight, and I can't even go into everything tonight. We're going to have to do another lesson in the near future because there's so much information on this subject. There's so much information on this subject. Shalom, everybody. We're going to be talking about how to get back your energy. We're in the last days. If they did let some damn zombies out, are you going to be able to run? Can you move? Can you save a life? Ladies, you got all of these nice, thick bodies and all of that, but can you climb a tree? Can you do a pull-up? We got to get your energy back in you. We got to get your energy back in you. So we're going to talk about it tonight. A few weeks ago, we talked about collagen. We mentioned a little bit about copper because I said I wanted to do a actual show specifically on copper, and a little bit of magnesium because it's very important. All right, and we will be coming from a few different sources, a few articles, a few doctors from YouTube, and also a book called A Cure to Your Fatigue. Okay, and this book is very powerful. And, like I said, if a lot of you don't know, if you didn't know, if you research, copper is one of the number one missing minerals in the world that we're not getting anymore. And some people shun on these type of shows because they think they know it all. when they know nothing at all. All right? So I'm going to just tell you that, hey, they think they know it all, but usually those people who stop learning, they know nothing at all. We never stop learning. The Most High is constantly giving us, as we draw near and closer to the times, giving us more and more information for those who will have ears to hear. And boy, did we have a great street preaching this weekend. We had a great street preaching this weekend. It was a beautiful thing. So I'm going to be posting some of those things on G.O.C.C. Media. Okay, we got our little sister Uzziah and the rest of the team on the camera. Okay, it's not about breaking people down with precepts. It's about waking up the souls, seeing what's going on with our people out there. We went out there, by twos. Okay, and, we have some few things that we're going to put out there. We got some interviews. You know what I mean? We had Deacon Alam, Officer Tazaba out there. They was back to back on the interviews. And even the police who police the south side of Houston. You got the north side of Houston and the south side of Houston. You see what I'm saying? Them some real hoods. But we be out there in the highways and the byways spreading the truth to our people, trying to help our people. I mean, the police officer didn't mind. This is one of the first times we didn't get no fire truck sirens, because usually when we out there, the fire trucks, no matter where we street preach, the fire truck will come and try to interrupt. But I'm going to tell you, like Elder Rawchaa said, we gave them heaven. Okay? So it was a blessing, man. So let's continue to do the work, continue to wake up souls. I know they got this big baptism coming in a few weeks in the Carolinas. And listen, the work don't stop. Regardless of what's going on, what Satan's trying to put out there with the hantavirus, what he's trying to put out there with Ebola. We all know Ebo means black. Ebony means black. Ebo, all comes from Eber from the Bible. And even some people in Africa know and some don't know, which is sad. My brothers in Africa, you can't be falling for stupidity. And then you walking around with pride as if you're over us. You're not over us. Stop telling the world we forgot where we came from. We know where we came from. You forgot where you came from. We came from Israel. We were singing about over the River Jordan. We came from Israel. We didn't come from no Africa. Yeah, our forefathers may have rested in Africa for a short period of time before they were brought over here, but that's not where we are from. So don't tell us we forgot where we came from. You forgot where you came from when you took the money from the white man to get us over here. That's a whole different topic, but just putting it out there. We have to focus on Christ. We all have been scattered to the four corners of the earth, to Europe, Asia, the land of Ham, Africa. We went into Africa among Africans. We're not African. We're Shemites. We're not Hamites. Nothing against Africans either, but this is the truth. So it's all these things going on, and, we're kicking out other, Africans from African countries because somebody on the low is being paid by Esau and Edom, as usual. We have to wake up and stay focused. Don't let the enemy turn us against each other. Don't let the enemy turn us against, try to use the narrative of black against white. All of these different things are going on right now. So let's stay focused and continue to do the work. All right. So, but without further ado, let us go into our lesson. Okay. About, are you tired of being tired? All right. I have a few links here. We're going to jump straight in. Okay. Now, I do have to make this quick announcement before we jump in. For those of you who may be new to the show, we are at historytimes.org. Okay. I just want to put this information out. So if you're just now tuning into our show, if you're you are a new viewer, No matter what religion you're from, what color you are, we welcome you all, even if you don't agree. Because you may learn something about something you probably never heard of or don't know about. Why? Why am I saying this? Because guess what? Even though you see other groups out there in other camps, I have nothing against these people. But I'm going to tell you something. The other nations, Shalom, Elder Dill, thank you for that. The other nations know what's going on. They know that there was going to be an awakening. They see, the wise ones at least, right? Even across the world. They sometimes, it's crazy how you'll see, and this is a side note, it's crazy how you will see Edom in the hood. You be like, what is Edom doing in the hood? What's going on? You know what I mean? It looked like you had ICE out there watching us and everything. It was deep in an all black car with a vest on. But it's crazy how you see Edom in the hood. And they're watching some of these camps, telling people to kiss their shoes, being rude, being racist. We had an Edomite brother. We got an Edomite brother. We got it on camera. We had an Edomite brother. We had Deacon Paul on the mic, street preaching at this time. An Edomite brother just wanted to ask, can I go up there and shake his hand? He was very polite. He seen that we was organized, on point, and peaceful, not racist. But he heard the message. The message must have been powerful for a white man to walk up there and interrupt kindly and say, man, I just wanted to shake y'all hands. Man, y'all doing a great job. And he knows that we were teaching. He sees the signs and all that we teaching that we're the real Jews. Let me tell you, boy, when you preaching that gospel, whoever it's supposed to be for, whatever nation, it's going to be for. So I want to put that out there. So why am I saying this? Because I have something in front of me, okay, on this website, historytimes.org. Okay, it is on Sunday. It's a Bible class and a Bible, not just a Bible study. It's way higher than that. It's not just like a normal Bible study. This thing is, it's an academy. It's like a school where you're going to learn all type of top historical and biblical knowledge. You even get to learn some of the ancient Hebrew. You even get to hear world news that you do not get to hear on regular social media sometimes. All right. So I want you to pay attention here because this is on Sundays. I'm teaching on Tuesday. Tomorrow we have another show by our main elder on our channel on YouTube, A Gathering 144. See, this channel here is G.O.C.C. Media. Okay, our alternative channel. Then we have A Gathering 144. That's on Wednesdays. You come back here on Thursdays with Deacon Hazak. You come back again on Friday on A Gathering 144 with Elder Rawchaa or Elder Ramar or Elder Lawya. Then on Saturday, working again in the vineyard on the Sabbath, because the Sabbath day is the seventh day, Saturday. We're teaching on A Gathering 144, our main channel again. And then on Sunday, whether you work or not, it's okay because you can get the recordings. And guess what? It's only $50 a month. You're not going to go in debt like you do in the universities, coming out of the theologian schools learning nothing. I promise you, listen, you're going to learn a whole lot in these 3 months, baby. All right? $50 a month. And guess what? You're going to get it all, everything you need. Now, let me show you a few things that we teach. This one's already on go already, obviously, so you're going to have to join the next one. Some of the lessons is the fall and rise of Israel. Our African brothers seem to have forgotten about this. We have a few who still knows there, but a lot of them have fell into Islam. They fell under the white man or the Asians, telling us that we forgot where we came from. We didn't forget where we came from because guess what? We even got the truth over here where people said we forgot where we came from, which is prophesied in the Bible. And we did not forget where we came from because we went back to Africa to wake you up. The hell you gonna tell us we forgot where we come from? We love you enough to have went back to start churches over there because no one over there sent a ship back over here. No one over there did anything to help us over here. So we know we got good brothers and sisters over there. So, hey, we have brothers over there And we got churches over there, and we preach the gospel over there too. Period. We're not going to forget our brothers. The scripture said we will be scattered worldwide. So this is a powerful lesson called the fall and rise of Israel. So drop your pride and come and learn something. The lost books of the Bible. There's more than what you read in the Bible. For example, in Joshua and 2 Samuel, it talks about, is it not written in the book of Jasher? There is extra biblical text. And it's already been filtered through by our elders to where you don't have to worry about going all over the place, getting second century plagiarism and false books. So you can be totally edified and you keep yourself on a organized direction and course, okay, of the Most High. A historical background of the Gospels, the secrets of the times that everyone should be knowing. If you don't know the true holy days, I'm not talking about Easter and Christmas. That's not in the Bible. If it is in the Bible in Jeremiah 10, it tells us, right? Don't do those things. Don't worship this idolatry with this tree and these gold and silver bells on it. It tells you that in Jeremiah 10. Learn not the way of the heathen or the other nations, because they follow idols, fallen angels, and demons. Okay? And guess why I'm saying that? Because we are supposed to be worshiping and following the true holy days. According to the book of Enoch, it's a certain way we do it. We teach that in here. You're not to go by the moon. Only you go by the sun. That male angel. We show you how it's a male angel, female angel, the moon, all that. Okay? Keeping you on point so you can watch and pray. You can't watch and pray if you don't know the holy days. You don't know the signs and the seasons and the times. You don't know the 4 intercalary days that separates the seasons. 364 calendar instead of 365. You want to get in this lesson. From Noah to Moses to Christ, there are specific jubilees set between these people. These teachers, this prophets, our Savior, specific jubilees. There was no mistake in what the Most High did when he set these jubilees in place in the time he set forth for the consummation for the fallen ones in this empire. So you want to be in this historytimes.org. All right. Let me turn this off here. Put that on silent. So if you want to get in, you will, you also get PDFs, just so you know. Okay. And once again, you get to learn conversational Hebrew, the alphabet, and things like that. Okay. So check it out on historytimes.org. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different. We will be going into the book. I will not be reading from the book. I will go straight into my Audible. And I can't read the whole book to you, man, but man. Now, he does have some videos online, but I just want to stick in his chapter 2 when it comes to cure your fatigue. Aren't you tired of being tired? We're going to try to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, I, in our church, are not saying that anything can actually cure you, but we're giving you the information from these doctors. Thank you very much. You got this beautiful Lion's Brew tea. Oh, my goodness. And they put the frothiness on that thing. Lord, those of you, if you know, I don't want to waste it, but I know you, look, I know you see that frothiness. Ooh-wee. Got that cinnamon nutmeg on top. Lord, have mercy. Woo. That dandelion roasted root, beautiful blood cleansing, anti this, anti that tea. Huh. Replace your coffee. Oh, yeah. If you don't put that froth up top with that heavy whipping cream, don't be putting that fake cream up in there. Put that heavy whipping cream. It's time for us to stop using this cheap canned cream for pasta and stuff. Make your own sauce. Make your own cream. Okay? This thing is serious. Talk about that another time. Okay. Cure your fatigue, the root cause. Okay, so we'll be reading that. But I want to go into a few links really quick that I have in front of you. Let's review some of the other ones just to bring us back up to speed. Now, you want to pay attention to this. If you're tired of being tired, like the scripture says, do not be weary in well-doing. Do not be weary, or don't get tired of listening to something that can change your life. It's already changed my life. It's already changed others' lives. So pay attention. This is very important that you understand where we're going. We were talking about the soil not too long ago, and Elder Rawchaa sent me something that I told him I showed you guys on class, and from this one gardener and this horticulturalist we were talking about. Now he's very hard to tune into because his delivery is very the attention span of Judah is a little different. So I get it. Like he's a little, I don't want to say boring, but but he's dropping some top information. Sometimes Esau's delivery is not the best to keep our attention, and we be ready to fall asleep. So I'm going to try to deliver it to you the best way that I can. But I'm going to tell you, it is very important that you understand what's going on tonight. And if you have any questions, it's fine. You can call in. Now, I have to be careful how I tell you what I tell you, because the powers that be don't want you to see and don't want you to get healed. Okay? The base word in healthy, heal yourself. So we're going to go to our first link, fair use for educational purposes only. Now, if you remember, we showed this when we were talking about collagen. I'm just going to run through the ones we showed before, and then I'm going to get to my point. But some people probably didn't watch that show. So no different than you watch your series on Amazon Prime and stuff. I need to bring you back really quick. I need to recap you really quick. Okay? And so anything that's on my show, it's not up for debate. It's you. Everybody got their opinions, whatever. But what I'm telling you, I really did a lot of studies and research on this. I have lived it. I know people who are living it. I don't try to bring something on that I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? And when people use the word doctor, some people use it and they be like Dr. Cheyenne Bryan, and I'm not throwing no jabs, but all doctors are not equal. All doctors are not equal. All doctors do not know everything. And I'm not taking away from their studies and what they do. No different than people who go to theologian school. All people who went to theologians don't know everything. I don't know everything. But what you do, if you don't become a fool teaching things you know not. Okay? And what I'm studying, I will never stop learning, but I'm bringing you what I know to be so today. And guess what? In the future, if I add to it, guess what? I'm going to bring you more if I get more. Because you deserve it. We deserve it. We shouldn't be walking around here unhealthy and tired. So let's get it. Let's go to Dr. Janine really quick. Pay attention. Fair use.
Warning signs that you are low in copper. Now, this important mineral is important for your thyroid. So if you have low thyroid function, because we know that copper helps for your T4 to T3 conversion, really important, as well as white patches on your skin. So if you're getting...
I want to take my time. Lots of people don't know how important the minerals are. Excuse me. One of those we're talking about tonight is copper. For your bones, for example, it's not just calcium. You're not supposed to overload your body with calcium, guys. That's why in my vitamin D3 plus K2, there's already calcium in there for you, a small amount. See, some people think we just take so much of everything. No. We were talking about the soil and how the microbes, the bacteria, and the fungi, one, they slow release and they bring balance in a certain amount that you need. Each plant may need different amounts. Each person may need different amounts. It's not about taking too much of everything. It's about consistency and balance. You overtake too much magnesium, it'll take away from another mineral. You overtake too much vitamin D, the magnesium will come and balance that out. All of these things balance each other out. You overtake too much zinc, you're gonna take away from your copper. So it's not about taking high. A lot of people during the time of 2020 and COVID started taking high levels of zinc. And so then they just kept doing it. No, that was for a certain time. Okay, so let's pay attention. Copper is one of the main, I have to say it like this, I'm sorry. It's one of the main, because it's important for people's health. It's one of the main functions, according to research, universal research, main functions of your thyroid. Salt. We're going to get on salt again. I can take one mineral, one vitamin, and we can have 30 lessons on it. Okay? So, I want to stop it there. People have so many thyroid issues. And some people have so much thyroid issues they can't even take iodine. But then you ask them, are you even taking copper? Does your doctor even ask you if you're taking copper? That's what I want to know when you go to the doctor. Be humble. Can you ask me that question? If you call in, I cannot even focus if you ask me that right now. I'm sorry. About grounding. I have grounding shoes that I sell, so I do believe in grounding, but we're going to talk about that another time. I'm going to do another lesson on that. But you can't ask the question if you call in. Does your doctor ask you, do you take copper? Do they ask you, do you take iodine? Or are you getting it in your diet? And if they were really concerned, where are you buying your food? Just because you're getting vegetables, once again, we're going to read it tonight in the book, does not mean just because it's green that you're getting vitamins and minerals in it. They can pump NPK, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, in a vegetable. It will turn green, it will flower, do what it needs to do, but does not mean that it has dense nutrition. So let's continue here. Pay attention, take your nose down. Know what I'm talking about? Put your coat down. Cool off.
Vitiligo, even premature gray hair, can be an indication that you're low in copper.
I was one of those people who grew early gray hairs, soft nails. That's a lack of copper. If you stayed bright, you couldn't get dark in the sun. Lack of copper. These are just small amounts. It does so much more.
Your immune system is compromised. You're getting a lot of colds and flus. Again, you could be low in that copper.
People think it's just vitamin D. People always think it's just vitamin D and vitamin C. It's a well-balanced diet, they always told us, right? The issue with the diet is, where are we getting our food? And guess what? I hate to say it, we have to get our food from where we get it from, unfortunately, until we learn how to garden the ancient way. Until we learn how to garden the Amish way. And I'm not saying the Amish was the first. We've been doing this since the Most High created the earth. But, hey, after the scientific revolution and the whole new way of life, guess what? Things changed. We'll talk about it in the book. Oh, my goodness. Every sip, is equipped.
My tips are to eat some foods that are higher in copper, so things like oysters. So 6 oysters will give you 133% of your RDI for copper.
We are not eating no oysters, sweetheart, because we don't want no parasites and it's unclean for us. So we're going to eat the meat and we're going to spit out the bones. So we're not eating no oysters. So just because you hear doctors tell you to eat certain things does not mean that you eat those things. But we're eating the meat and spitting out the bone. And I'm sorry to tell her, I know some doctors will tell you, eat it in this food, eat it in that food. I've eaten cacao powder. I've eaten every food that's supposed to have copper. And if I had enough copper, or if I ate these foods on the regular and they still didn't help me, somehow, some way, they didn't absorb the copper in the soil, or somebody put NPK on the cacao plant, or whatever food is supposed to have copper in those sweet potatoes, they didn't have enough of it. And not only that, if you don't eat these things every day, you won't get it every day, even if it does have it. So you got to think about this. This is how important this mineral is. You need such a small amount, but we don't get it consistent enough. And you're talking about a person who lift weights. I'm out here pushing 1,000-pound plus hay. I'm not saying it to brag, but what I'm telling you is it literally will kind of put wear and tear on your body. If you work at a UPS, or you deliver packages, or you drive whatever you do, if it's labor intensive, if you sitting down all day, this mineral is very important. You need, see, this is what I need to teach our people. I want to teach you something. Get out of the mindset that this is negotiable. No, you need this. Hey, try to get in your diet the best you can. I mean, you can go spend some expensive money and go to one of these farms. I mean, it's a good thing to try it, but it's okay modern day to supplement it. And we'll give you some ideas of what you can supplement. Okay? But I am telling you, number one mineral, very important. You want your skin to be tight? You don't want to be feeling like you're tired and sleepy, even though you feel like you're doing everything right? We're going to put you on game today.
Dark chocolate also has some copper. 3.5 ounces will give you 88% of your RDI, and sunflower seeds, just 1 ounce, 26% of the copper.
Now, sweetheart, I love what you're saying here. But if you get some of the wrong people eating chocolate every day, they're going to start gaining too much weight. Some people can't afford chocolate every day. Then we don't know if the chocolate actually has enough in there. If people still going through the same thing. So I appreciate what she's saying, but I'm here to be all around truthful, to tell you what's really going on out here. How we waiting on fertilizer to come from overseas, a bunch of nitrogen. It's not just about nitrogen. Your minerals is one of the most important things. If a sheep don't have selenium, it can get paralyzed. If the goats don't have copper, they can get parasites. It's time for us to start using our pair of sights. You know what I'm talking about?
Daily. You can also supplement with a high-quality whole food supplement of zinc plus that copper in a 12-to-1 ratio. Here are some warning signs.
So, personally, I really don't. We're going to talk a little bit more about the copper when it comes to zinc. You never want to take high amounts of zinc when you're taking copper. You never want to take high amounts of vitamin C close to taking copper. Okay? If you need higher amount of vitamin C, stretch it a few hours later. Okay? So, we talked about the thyroid. We talked about melanin production, vitiligo, gray hair. When it comes to soft nails, strong bones, believe it or not. Blood regulation. Oh, yeah. Copper is involved with all of this. Okay, so that's just one video we're talking about. Let's go to the next. We're going to keep it going. You want your skin tight, right? You tired of listen. The first thing before he speaks, I'm going to tell you. Start to exercise. I can't tell you enough. If you don't exercise, you're telling your body by your actions, by your mind, you lack confidence, you lack discipline. It's time for you to pretty much let go and die. I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. This is what the body is listening to. It's watching your patterns, your algorithm, your movements, and what you do. It knows everything about you. Oh, you're not going to use these. Let me start to tighten up. You're not going to use your back anymore. Let me start to tighten these muscles up. You don't stretch it. Let's not be flexible anymore. I'm telling you, this is how it works. If you don't jump, if you thought that the calf muscle was not like the second heart, it's true. I kept telling y'all to jump. Your heart pumps blood too, but so does the calves back up to the heart. This is a fact. It's not like something I'm just saying. If you don't jump and you're getting older, you got blood issues. You could take copper, but you still need to move. You need to move. If you can jump and you can move, like I told you, I'm giving you some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding today. Start small. You can put your hands on the back on this sofa and jump small. Get you a little trampoline. You know the little trampolines that don't bust you behind now. The little circle small kid trampolines. If it's hard for you to land, jump on something soft first. Get your body used to it. Some people have actual workouts with trampolines. Start jumping. Okay. So yeah. Let's get it. But I'm not just talking about cardio. Now, this is what I'm gonna tell y'all. I know some of y'all, I don't want nobody to give no comments in here. If you're not walking around in shape, and I don't know who is and who's not, you can't speak. We also have to stop listening to people who's giving advice who's not that. I'm not gonna go to the gym to get trained by somebody, no offense, who's overweight. If you guys are, we have to stop doing this stuff. We need to go to the experts who know what they're talking about, so we can actually stop going in a circle for like 40 years in the wilderness. Cardio is good for the heart, cardiovascular, good for the mind. But you want to build the muscle to tell the body, I need to use this muscle. I need to be strong, skeletal muscle, so I can live. In an emergency, if I need to move real quick, like the brother just said, you could hit that speed bag. So that's a good little thing there, too, because, you keeping it moving. If you can move quick, you're not going to pull that muscle. So I hear a lot of people say, walk, and okay, walk. If you just want some cardiovascular, that's good. Nothing wrong with walking. But I'm trying to tell you, if you want to live long, if you're tired of being tired, you want better sleep, you want your organs to function, you want your gut to move, you need to shake it up. Jump. Start jumping. You have to start jumping, guys. Okay? I'm just telling you the truth. And if you can't jump, if there's something to where you just can't jump, you're going to have to do some different type of movement. Get that gut moving, okay? This is going to help you to absorb what you have, all right? So the parasites won't deal with it. Let's get it. Because, a lot of people be giving us too much information. Man, you could do this, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. Listen, nah. Sometimes it's like the truth. You got 30 teachers, but you're not following one thing. You got to master something, man. And it's like we get in these endless conversations and we never resolve something. We have to stop being like that. That is a curse. All right?
Copper and its physiological role in your skin's health and aging. When copper is used topically, it has been shown to improve your body's ability to heal itself, that's wound healing, and cell regeneration. It also helps to balance out your skin's microbiome, normalizing the bacterial concentrations on the surface of your skin.
So stop putting on fake lotion. Stop putting on fake things on your body if you want to get better. It's going to kill off your microbiome on your skin. If you use, things that's like alcohol and stuff too much on your skin, it will kill off a lot of your microbiome on your skin. Then you're going to start having rashes and just different things like that. Obviously, it starts in the gut first. Exercise and the gut. Exercise in the gut. Exercise in the gut. I'm not talking about walking. I'm not including walking. You can walk after. You can walk and pick your day you want to walk. Build muscle. If it don't make muscle, it don't make sense. If it don't make muscle, it don't make sense if we get older and we lose the muscle. Tell your body you want to keep the muscle. Tell your body you want to keep the testosterone, men. The testosterone from men comes from the loins, from the legs. If you're not lifting legs 2 times a week or heavy one time a week consistently, and you can't start back that way. You can't just start thinking you back in your 20s. It's going to take time. Your testosterone is going to start getting boosted back in your legs, and also taking things like boron. Yeah, Julian Davis hit is good, man. You keep it moving, but it's not necessarily building muscle. It's good cardio. It's good, it's a good thing to do though. What I'm saying is do things that's going to build muscle on top of that. Okay? Push-ups, knee push-ups, squats, hip thrust, planks, pull-ups if you can, if dips. So I'm going to, like I said, soon I'm going to go ahead, rent a gym, bring people who have experience in workouts and actually look like they work out. Okay? I'm going to get in a gym, rent the gym for the G.O.C.C media. Me and these people will come on to show you who actually have been doing it for 20 plus years at least, or at least 10, who actually have done this and do this, to show you what you need to do. Don't mean they know it all. This is the only way, but to motivate you and encourage you, to show you if you do this and you have this type of discipline and consistency, you can continue to live longer and not be tired. If you don't jump, your sleep will not be as good. If you jump, you will start to even sleep better and wake up better. Not fatigued. All right? KIIYsupplements.com. Elder Dale, can you put in keysupplements.com for the people so I can continue, if you don't mind, sir? Thank you, brother. Let's continue. You want that skin tight? We losing as we get older. It's a natural part of life. But if you want to keep it, oh, you still look young, girl. You still look good. Brother, you looking handsome. You looking good. Brother, what you doing? The most people I see is people who's eating healthy and working out and keeping stress away. Okay? Let's get back to this copper.
Of ultimate importance to most of you who watch my channel, copper helps to tighten up your skin because, as you know,
copper helps to tighten up your skin. I spray that copper spray on me, right? And I keep it moving. I eat collagen, and the copper strengthens the collagen and the elastin of the collagen, okay?
we get older, we lose collagen in the skin, elastin fibers become more stretchy and loose, leading to fine lines and wrinkles, and that droopy, crepey skin that everyone works so hard to avoid or get rid of. Copper is very helpful to your skin's overall elasticity, that's shoring up those levels of collagen and elastin so that fine lines and wrinkles don't occur. It can really help with the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles that have already formed. So what about copper and it?
Okay. Copper is going to help with this, okay? Working out, eating high protein diets. As you get older, you lose protein, you need to eat more protein. You need to be eating 30% of collagen a day. When I get up in the morning, okay, I electrolyte myself with minerals. I'm taking magnesium glycinate in the morning. I drink me some warm cayenne water, you understand, with a little lemon, salt, a good amount of salt in there, or soul water, S-O-L-E water, getting that potassium and everything in there, right? And then right after that, I have a warm cup of beef broth because I want to have a lot of collagen. I want to have high collagen. You got vitamin C in there from your lemon or whatever the case may be, or your lime. That's going to help your collagen production. Okay, so I got that beef broth in there with more minerals, collagen in there. And then when I eat lunch, I'm going to have my Lion's Brew tea. What do I have inside of my Lion's Brew tea? I'm giving y'all just an easy way to do it. I'm dropping iodine in there, selenium in there. I'm dropping collagen in there. I got 6 scoops of collagen in my tea twice a day. And my collagen don't taste like paint. Boy, I had some collagen, oh boy, from something else. Ooh, that thing tastes like paint. You put in your smoothies with. I said one thing I love about our stuff. It tastes natural. It have no air. I mean, this man. I'm like one time my wife gave me something. I said, "What is that?" Trash. Love KIIY. So I put those 6 scoops of collagen in there, and every now and then I will put some of my mushroom powder in there. This tea is so powerful, you can't taste those added additions in there. Okay? Every morning and night, what do? How is Elder getting against copper? Well, I take a bioavailable colloidal copper, instantly available. Personally, for me, I've tried supplemental copper, but it make me feel like I get nauseated or throw up. So one of the best coppers you can take that's bioavailable is colloidal copper. That's why we offer that one. I can offer all kinds, but I'd rather offer something that I know is going to go straight to the system, easy on the stomach, and it's just pleasant. It just tastes like water. Okay? So I take colloidal copper, gold, and silver morning and night before I go to bed. And at night, I also add a little magnesium in there. Okay? So we'll talk about why we have the magnesium with it. We're going to talk about that. See, my stuff is very easy in how I take. I'm not all over the place taking 1,000 pills. It's easy how I do it. Okay? And then when I get to the gym, I got beetroot powder in there for my pump. I got my ultra testosterone in there to keep a man over 35 wants to keep his testosterone levels up if he wants tight skin. I got more magnesium inside of my ultra test. So by the time I get to the gym, it's about 45 minutes from here. I take those 2, and we in there like swimwear. Okay? So I told you guys who were coming on, I can't answer any questions until you call in. So you won't even get your questions answered unless you actually call in the show. Because I can't read and teach at the same time. I mean, I can, but it's just going to interrupt the show. So let's go to the next thing before we go into the book. All right, we're on a good pace here. We are on a good pace. Fair use for educational purposes only. So we're going to the benefits of copper no one ever talks about. We went on this one last time, so we'll run through this one really quick. We have Dr. Peter Osborne really quick. Here we go. Fair use for educational purposes only. Pay attention because, and I'm going to give you an example. My copper is going from me all the way to my little one. It's not something that's just like, oh, have you ever taken copper before? Nah, it's like needed. Did y'all take y'all copper this morning? I'm on my children. Did you take your copper? Did you take your iodine? Period. You got your magnesium? Nutrition. Okay? I drink beetroot juice too. Very good stuff. One thing about the beetroot, if it's grown correctly, it's a root vegetable. It pulls up a lot of minerals in it. You know, if they ain't spraying that thing. Fair use. All right, brother. This music crazy.
Copper is an antioxidant. It plays a role in a system called SOD, superoxide.
1 second.
Copper is an antioxidant. It plays a role. Get copper from the diet. That basically means is your body can't produce. Alrighty, copper is an essential mineral, and what that basically means is your body can't produce it. You have to get copper from the diet. Now, we're looking at some of the functions of copper in the body. If we break these down kind of very simplistically put here, copper aids iron absorption. Copper is an antioxidant. It plays a role in a system called SOD, superoxide dismutase. Copper plays a role biochemically in how your blood clots. So very, very important in that component.
Copper plays a role in how your blood clots. If you got varicose veins, you are lacking copper. If you have anemia, you are lacking copper. You're not just lacking iron. They will give you more iron. They will get your stool hard and all this. You're lacking copper. If you eating red meat and you got anemia, you lacking copper, baby. If you taking my iron fish and you still got anemia, you're lacking copper, baby. Never take. So I had to start bringing this out because what I realized is that some people were still suffering from it. I'm like, okay, they're lacking copper. They're lacking copper. All right.
Blood pressure as well. Low copper has been linked to blood pressure problems.
If it's the number one missing mineral in the world, why don't you try that before going on a medication? See, man, it's so sad. If they really wanted us healthy, they would have this stuff in the food. They would not put fake artificial fertilizer in the ground where even if the copper or the minerals is in the ground, it blocks it from coming up. Check that out. There's minerals in the soil, guys. Now, a lot of the farmers may be lacking minerals on the farm. This is just the truth. They try to do cover crops and things like that, but they're spraying and they glyphosate and then they dropping NPK and all this. They messing it right back up. If you drop artificial fertilizers, it blocks all minerals that's in the ground from coming to your plant. Period. Facts. 100%. Non-debatable. So you might man, we eating some salad tonight. That don't mean the salad got no nutrition. Sprouts usually have nutrition because, and that's if they don't spray them, because when that seed, the starter seed is growing, that seedling, that's when it has its most nutrition. So that's why you can add a lot of sprouts and stuff to your diet. That will help you. Okay? But I'm going to tell you, start with something that if you know the whole world ain't taking it, maybe that can be an issue with you. If I read a book to you called The Iodine Crisis, and there's so many books that keep talking about the same subject, you might want to pay attention to it. You might not want to be like, well, and you still have to check to see if it's good for you. But you definitely don't want to miss it. Minerals are so important. I mean, I watched one of my sheep before die from lacking selenium. Serious. No games. Goats. Not having enough copper. The tails will start to split in the back and all that. This stuff is real, guys. Your eye will be twitching. You're lacking magnesium. Your nerves is jumping. You're lacking magnesium. You're supposed to be taking 500 milligrams a day. Yeah, I got NAD+. It's a great metabolic booster. I have that in the NMN over there to go together. Really good stuff. So I take it from time to time. My wife mostly takes that. But let's get back to it.
And the formation of the myelin sheath. This is a big one here, especially with the quantity or the increase in the rise of the disease multiple sclerosis. A lot of people have demyelinating autoimmune disease, and
I need to correct you though, sister. Even though you're saying something good, we got to be correct. It's not about copper being good to take. We have to take copper. It's not, and I know you probably mean that. We have to take it. We have to make sure whatever food we're getting, it's in there. If it's not in there, we have to take it. If you don't have copper, your body is not going to make it. You will be running on fumes. It is non-negotiable. If you want to be healthy, it is non-negotiable. So you need to find a bioavailable copper. Make sure you're taking it. If you're going to take the pill, minimum 2 milligrams, but I would say 4, maximum 10 milligrams. Okay. Personally, like I said, for me, I've tried different kinds and we concluded that we stay with the colloidal copper. I stay with it's more bioavailable. It don't need to take time to do. And when I say that, it's not even hurting the body in any form or fashion. If you take too much of it, you just urinate it out. Okay. Let's continue.
even realize that copper might be playing a role in that. So again, if you have a diagnosis of MS or know somebody out there who's struggling with MS, share this information about copper with them, because again, the myelin sheath, the coating around your nerves, requires copper to be able to be formed. We also know that copper plays a...
So if you're not taking copper, the myelin sheet around your nerves can't even be formed. So that's why I wanted to correct. You have to take it. I hear people, man, I used to take that. What do you mean you used to? Why are you not taking it anymore? That means you didn't know what you were doing or talking about, and it's all good. But we can't go around telling people, I used to do. No. If it's something that is a mineral needs to be always in the body through diet or through supplementation. Again, through diet or through supplementation. If you can get it in your diet, perfect. But you need to make sure that it's in there, because you will suffer long term. If people, for example, he's talking about MS, multiple sclerosis, correct? That he said that. If people were getting something that would help them get rid of that, obviously it's not in the food that they're eating. And I'm not saying that it's going to get cured overnight, but what I'm telling you is, if it was in the food like they say it's in the food, it's a lot of things that wouldn't be happening. Like I told y'all, this is when I realized, hindsight is 2020. I'm like, hold up. I start graying a little earlier. I mean, obviously some of it's genetics, because my dad grays early too. Nails was always soft, right? And I was real bright when I was young, real bright, way brighter than this. Okay. And I'm like, hold up. I actually tore another ACL just bending down to the refrigerator. It showed me, although I thought I was eating natural just because I'm in Egypt, that doesn't mean you're getting all the nutrition. Just because you're choosing to eat a certain diet, we have to actually go out our way to make sure we're getting certain things. Facts. So I pulled one playing basketball and twisted that one. I don't know why the camera did that. I pulled one because I did a 360 layup and I landed wrong. That was explainable. But then I'm like, years later, the other one, and I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. I was lacking copper way back then, assuming I was getting it from the food. Now, praise the Most High, they were just 2 partial ACLs that I didn't have to get surgery. But I'm going to tell you something. I had to MSM it, high vitamin C it. Huh? Let me tell you. Right? And then I wasn't taking enough collagen. And then when I started taking collagen, I didn't have enough copper to make the elastin strong. So even if you're taking collagen, it's like a rubber band. If you don't have copper, it won't make that rubber band strong and tight and flexible enough to where you stretch it, it won't pop. That's where copper comes in. We got to pay attention. We need 30% of our diet of collagen. If you ain't getting it in your diet, if you ain't eating that chicken skin, you ain't eating broth and certain things, because it's not even enough in broth to get what I'm saying if you're 35 and older. That's how weak this food is around here. So I have to supplement. And guess what? It's doing me very well. Very well. Okay? I'm talking about inflammation and all that. Go back and watch the other lesson on collagen. But the copper is what makes it strong, okay?
And adrenaline, also sometimes referred to as epinephrine or epinephrine. Those terms are used interchangeably. So adrenaline and dopamine production. So think of this as neurotransmitters, right? So dopamine is the neurotransmitter that helps us feel calm and relaxed. It also helps us cope with stress, whereas adrenaline is one of the primary stress hormones. So if we don't have adequate copper, we can't get to dopamine, subsequently we can't get to adrenaline, which makes us less adaptable to stress. So we can...
How many things is copper important for? Check that out. If you don't have copper in your body, you are lacking. We are lacking. That small amount, if we're not consistent with such a small amount, which the body can produce, we are lacking on a high level. It's like a car rolling around without shocks. You rolling, but every time you hit that bump, you feel that bump.
Develop anxiety, among other major symptoms of low levels of dopamine and adrenaline. Copper is also important for other major symptoms of low levels of dopamine and adrenaline. Dopamine subsequently can't get to adrenaline, which makes us less adaptable to stress. So we can start to develop anxiety, among other major symptoms of low levels of dopamine and adrenaline. Copper is also important for building of new blood vessels. Now, this has to do very much with collagen. Copper plays a role in the formation of collagen. Now, many of you probably take a collagen shake or use a collagen protein. And so what happens is when you drink those collagen shakes, what you're really after is you're after the amino acids within those shakes, right? The amino acids like proline and lysine, which is what collagen is rich in. These amino acids, they once we break them down and absorb them,
remember this,
our body reutilizes them to generate collagen. Now, collagen is what's called a triple helix or a tripeptide protein. It kind of looks like this, where you have 3 strands that cross over each other, and then in between the strands, you have these little linkages. These are called crosslinks.
Let me correct this really quick. You said live, laugh, loveness. If you're taking a pill form of copper, you can't take too much. If you take over 10 milligrams, yeah, you're going to be feeling like it's going to come all through here like you want to throw up. So you got to know how much you can take. Now, what I found with my colloidal copper, I mean, I've taken as much. I've taken a lot. I take it sometimes two to 4 times a day. Never had one issue. I love it because I tried the other ones a few times, and every few times I try to take it, you get nauseated, and it's just like that's for me. You got to know your body. You get what I'm saying?
And these are copper dependent. So think of if you're using collagen proteins, but you're low in copper. What happens is, yes, you can still make the collagen. You can still take that collagen and make your own collagen from it. But if you're low in copper, these little cross ladders don't form. And what happens, why are these important? They're important for the elasticity, for the strength and the elasticity. So low copper will make your collagen basically more brittle and easier.
So I am so glad the Most High blessed us with this, because you'll have a lot of people saying, man, I take collagen, man. Yeah. And then it's like, now it's like, dang, are you taking copper with it? And they'll get an attitude like, what you mean? Hey, it's all good. I'm just asking. This is why I'm asking right here.
To break, right? So for example, if we put this, into a blood vessel, this is collagen that goes into the elasticity of blood vessels, how they contract and relax, how they stretch, right? This can lead to this is one of the connections that it actually has to blood pressure, is it leads to less elasticity within the vessel itself, exerting more pressure on the wall.
Come on, brother.
If this
there
happens in the skin, so away from the blood vessels, if it happens in the skin, your skin can have less resiliency, less bounce back, right? Because the collagen in the skin is very important in that regard. And many of you take skin versions of collagen in hopes, to increase that skin elasticity, but without copper, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So again, back to why.
So for example, if you eat that good old chicken crackling, I heard Brother Julian Davis talk about that chicken crackling. I'm going to tell you, I thought my mama said she had me some, but I guess I missed out on it. So I'm gonna have to get me some more of that good old chicken crackling down here in Houston, because I got some when I went to visit my daddy in Louisiana. Crazy work. Oh yeah, but my mama told me it's a place down here in Katy that I got to get some of that good old chicken crackling. So it got actual meat on it too, and they season it just right. Lord have mercy, but you got to have your copper. So if we eat the skin on these things, and we eat meat, even like beef, that's a little tougher, like for instance, grass-fed beef that moves around on the land is going to be a little tougher. It's going to have more collagen than a cow that's just sitting around in a stall, because that cow don't move, so it's going to have more marbleization on it, more fat. Okay? Just so you know. If you don't take copper and you just take vitamin C with iron, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to work out for you. Copper is actually more important for iron than vitamin C, just so you know. Just to add to your arsenal. It's more important for iron than vitamin C.
It's the collagen crosslinks here. Copper also plays a major role in immune system function. So one of the things copper is important for is the white blood cell production. And what we'll see oftentimes in labs is people will have low white blood cells, but specifically we'll also see low neutrophils, a special type of white blood cell. So if you've ever had a CBC, a complete blood count test done through your doctor, and your white blood cell counts are always low, your neutrophil counts are low, this could very well be a copper deficiency, and you would want to ask your doctor to check into that for you, making sure that this is not what's creating that. We know that copper plays a role in brain function and development. Remember, there are areas of your brain where dopamine is also produced. So aside from brain function and development, dopamine, there's an area of the brain called the substantia nigra. This area is where we produce most of our dopamine. And so if you've ever heard of Parkinson's disease, which is an autoimmune disease where dopamine production is compromised because of an autoimmune response to this area of the brain, okay, and so a person starts to have what are called tremors or tremor disorders. Well, we know copper deficiency can also contribute to neurological problems through this dopamine. You don't have to necessarily have Parkinson's disease for the reduction in copper's ability to help your body produce dopamine. So very important to understand. Pigmentation of the skin. There's a pigmentation in our skin that is copper dependent. So copper, without copper, you can basically develop white discoloration of the hair. So your hair could be almost like premature gray or turn light or white, but your skin could be light complected. You could be more light complected as a result of a copper deficiency. So that could predispose you or make you more susceptible to sun burning and things of that nature. And again, we've talked in the past in many shows about how sunshine is super important for health. So we don't want to not be able to get out in that sun because we're not producing.
Now, it's going to make you dark according to your genetics. Esau, you can't take so much copper to where you're only going to turn as dark as whatever, color you get. It's like a bright person. You want to get dark as much as your genetics get. So I just want to put that out there to where people is not trying to, man, I want to be black, it goes by your own genetics, just so you know. But it's very important that we get what we need for the proper melanin and pigment production, okay? Just so you guys know.
Adequate skin pigment due to a copper deficiency. And then one of the other massive or major functions of copper.
What's the deal, the difference between gold, silver, and copper? You can ask that question after the show. It's a great question, too.
That it aids in bone mineralization. So your bone is this.
I'll do a show specifically on colloidal gold and silver, though.
Matrix, and a lot of people, will talk about calcium, right, as being the bone mineralizer, but it's not just calcium. Magnesium's important, zinc is important, copper is important, vanadium, boron. There are a lot of minerals that go into bone mineralization. Copper, again, being a very important one, and we know there are some linkages to bone loss and osteoporosis and long-standing or long-term copper deficiency. So a lot of very important functions of what copper does for you in the body. Hey, don't forget to check.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. I also call him Dr. Boron. Dr. Osborne. We appreciate you for that information there. Very, very vital information. All right. So we getting through them. I'm telling y'all, and I didn't have to do a recap on that, but I'm giving you different doctors and different opinions, and they all saying the same thing. This is how you know this copper is serious. Once again, we got another brother, and I got so many people I could have showed y'all, but I'm going to show you once again. I don't know why when it gets to Facebook, it doesn't want to do the volume part.
Take copper, probably this copper, twice a week, like maybe on Mondays and Thursdays. But I have core copper. If you're having any hair loss, if your skin's off anyway, you're getting wrinkles, if your nails are a little bit soft, you're having any type of mitochondrial issues. Most people, I would say, like I take copper, probably this copper twice a week, like maybe on Mondays and Thursdays. But I have core supplements, which are always going to be the most deficient there's like probably 5 or 6 supplements that pretty much the whole world is deficient in, and that's iodine, selenium, boron, copper, vitamin D, and vitamin C.
So y'all know y'all elder been telling y'all this. I've been trying to tell y'all. So listen to your body, understand what you need more or less of. Now, personally for me, I feel when I don't have the copper, I need the copper every day. He probably don't need the copper every day. Me, I need it every day. I work out every day. If I'm not in the yard, I need it. I mean, my energy is top of the line when I'm on that copper. When I don't have that copper, you know what I mean? And my wife like, oh, we got to send, the last out for Lions Homestead. I'm like, oh, my goodness. I need my copper.
Copper is up there too, and we were so fortunate to be able to get the bioactive copper, and this is going to really provide you lots of energy. It's a broad spectrum antimicrobial. It's a great antioxidant. It helps balance the iron metabolism, and that's something we're seeing right now. Copper activates your superoxide dismutase, which, considering the fact that we're having all these chemicals and toxins and our body's overworked, incredibly well. Copper works really well to help the liver too. It balances iron, and this is like I said, a lot of people are having on their blood test, they're either high ferritin, low ferritin. They're having.
I want to put this out there. The iron is not only in your blood vessels. So if you go to the doctor, obviously they're gonna measure your iron in your blood. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's also in the tissues. So, that's the deal. You got a lot of people have a lot of iron in them, but they don't have enough consistency of taking copper to unbound their bodies from the iron. That's important. So I need to get to that part before it gets too late here, because I know we're actually almost there. Let me see here. Okay, those are 2. All right, I need to go ahead and get there really quick because it's getting late. Let's go to this Audible. Let me get chapter 2 of Cure Your Fatigue. Cure Your Fatigue. I'm going to go to Audible chapter 2. Morley M. Robbins. Powerful, powerful book. Okay. Let's get it really quick. Let's go to chapter 2. Hopefully.
Another problem is the widespread use of antibiotic food crops across great distances, traditionally and detrimental to our health. Broadly speaking, these developments occurred in 3 key areas.
Okay, so we're reading right now, Cure Your Fatigue, the root cause, how to fix your fatigue. Copper, all right? So let's get this really quick. We're going to start at the 3-minute mark. About the 3-minute mark. We're not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to just get this, and we can come back again another time. But this is very important so you can understand. Man, chapter 3 is powerful too. Guys, copper is so important. People who have like SIBO, irritable bowel syndrome in the stomach. Guys, it's so much more information out there when it comes to copper. You will be surprised. All right.
Food crops across great distances, traditional farming methods soon began to be.
So pay attention because you don't want to miss nothing. Take your notes. Very, very, very important. This is a powerful book.
Be replaced by commercial farming methods, which today have displaced most local farmers with factory farm conglomerates whose primary concern is to produce food as cheaply and quickly as possible. This trend may have been well-intentioned, but it has also proved to be disastrous to our health. Consider refrigeration as one significant example. With its introduction, we lost 2/3 of our exposure to mineral-rich sea salt. Prior to the introduction of refrigeration, foods were packed in sea salt, and the American diet was rich in minerals. The advent of the ice box played a major role in drastically reducing the mineral content of our food.
Now, I'm not saying you can't have an ice box. Man, see, since we got an ice box, we ain't getting no minerals. Well, you got to eat more salt. Okay? Now, obviously, you have to know what's good for you. Believe it or not, when I lift weights years ago, this is what will make you lack your strength gains when I was power lifting. If you don't eat enough calories, that's one. If your vitamin C levels are low, you will reach a plateau. If you don't have enough salt, you will not have enough strength. So, guys, it's levels to this, just so you know. Okay, I know what they say about salt, but we're eating iodized salt. That is a poison. If I go in black people's house and I see iodized salt, I'm like, what are we doing? If I go in a so-called organic restaurant and I see iodized salt, I'm like, what is going on here? That is a poison. That is a poison. Get you some Celtic sea salt, or they have a salt out there called real salt, or find you a good quality pink sea salt, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I hear they be having heavy metals in certain things and stuff, but you can find you a good salt, okay?
But that is far from the only problem. Instead of growing their harvest the way our ancestors did, using only natural fertilizers and annually rotating crops to ensure the cropland remained vitalized and retained its mineral-rich content.
The Most High, you remember the Most High was telling us in the scriptures, he said, let the land rest on the 7th year. Well, we don't have any land to let anything rest. And we're not really dealing with farming on that level as a people. The farmers are. But the way the farmers are dealing, it's no nutrition in their food. I'm sorry to tell you. You can have whatever storm, rain, wind, that corn is still going to grow because it's genetically modified, a lot of that corn. It's sprayed. It's a certain hybrid breed of why it's growing. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying all corn, but I'm saying a lot of it out there. If you're not using the old livestock manures and the wood chips and the fungus and the microbes and things we talked about before, it's going to be hard for you to get all of your nutrition. You may get some here and there, but we are supposed to have consistent. That's why the Bible talked about daily bread. If you had daily wheat, like some of this ancient wheat, you fresh milled it. That's why they call it daily bread, because you get your daily vitamins from that bread. They got all your vitamins and minerals except for. But if you ate your little fish with it, you would get your iodine and the rest of your minerals and some salt. We don't live in those days no more. You eat too much fish nowadays, you get mercury. You eat the wrong fish, you got parasites from some of this salmon. I'm afraid to eat salmon out here. Straight up. Even if it's wild nowadays. The parasites is crazy for the way that they done messed up and polluted this ecosystem. I'm really careful about the fish I eat. I barely eat salmon anymore with all the parasites that's in a lot of this salmon. Straight up. Okay, and when I eat it, I know I'm taking some stuff before I eat that thing or after. Okay?
Modern farming methods rely on a cocktail of man-made chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and other
Pay attention or you're going to miss it. You guys are asking questions. If you're just coming in, I'm going to answer them at the end. You are going to miss something, and then you're going to be suffering from it because you did not pay attention. This is vital information. This is not something you could just sweep under a rug and be like, I'll listen to it next time. You will suffer from this if you don't have this copper in your body. You will suffer from it. Trust me. You will. Did you not hear what Dr. Osborne was saying? If you're not taking it in every day and thinking you're getting it, guys, I don't care if you're taking a multivitamin. You might think you're getting enough. If you're going through some of the same things he said, you're not getting enough. So just pay attention so you can look at your body and what you're taking and examine if you need to add more, if you need to eat this or that. Pay attention.
Natural agents in order to boost production. These chemicals have had a decidedly negative impact on the soil microbes that are key to nutrient uptake by the plants. Most farmers in America, as well
Goodness gracious. He's hitting punchline after punchline of why I have to stop. Modern day farming is messing up the soil microbes that help to uptake nutrient into your plants, and then you eat it. Your gut takes it in. If you get in a plant and it doesn't have those, like I said, if your garden only has bacteria, your plants will die. If your garden only has fungi, your plants will die. If your garden only has bacteria and fungi, your plants will eventually die. You need to have bacteria, fungi, arthropods, worms. You got to have the whole system. The only way to do that is adding these things that need to be broken down. Food scraps with high nitrogen, chicken bedding, goat, sheep, livestock, rabbit, whatever. This is what falls in the forest and what feeds the forest. You don't see nobody going out there with no dang on NPK. The Most High is perfect in all his ways. I'm trying to show this fungi thing, even on my little homestead channel, to show people like, listen, this is where it's at. If you leave, I left some of my trees as an experiment. I went back, dug through the soil full of white fungus, beautiful fungus all over the place. It's traveling to feed the trees, water, whatever they need, breaking down wood chips. This is what feeds these plants. Don't forget, we're made up of more microorganisms than anything else. Don't forget that part.
In many other parts of the world, no longer use rock dust nor fulvic acid, both of which are well-known means of remineralizing the soil. Soil without minerals equals mere dirt, not true cropland teeming with microbial life and vitalizing nutrients. In addition, today the use of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, is commonly used in crop fertilizers. NPK has known properties that block the uptake of copper by food crops.
Oh, here we go. I told you, he dropping so many punchlines. Now, I got a sister out there who says, what about container gardening? You can still have a powerful garden doing container gardening. It's no different than a raised bed. It's no different than a mound. All you got to do is get you some food scraps, put it at the bottom before you plant your plant. Put you some food scraps at the bottom. Put you some old dung and manure at the bottom. Right? Put you some dirt on top of that. While that's breaking down, those worms are going to come through those holes at the bottom. You see what I'm saying? Put you a little mulch at the top, not too much. And guess what? That plant is going to do whatever it needs to do. And then you got all type of other ways. Some people put like things inside like PVC or little plastic bottles, and they put food scraps in there. The worms come up through it. They put holes in it. You got to do your research. You can have a powerful container garden the same way. All right, don't worry about it. You got it. But I wanted to show you what he just said. I'm gonna back it up. If you put NPK in the ground, you literally, I don't care what your opinion is, you will literally, this guy don't know the other guy who I showed you 2 weeks ago. They're saying the same exact thing. Two experts when it comes to soil. Okay? It will block the uptake of copper even if copper is in the ground. Not only copper, the other minerals. If you put this stuff at the store and it says, 10, 10, 10, all this different stuff, it's all good. If you want to put on your oak tree and just different things, but I'm talking about when you want to eat something, you can still eat it, but don't think it's going to have top nutrition. So if we want to focus on long-term nutrition, pay attention to this. If you want to just hustle, sell some fruits and vegetables, man, use your NPK. I'm not against you at all. I'm not against you. I understand. I get it. But if you want long-term nutrition to where when things shut down, we can't buy supplements no more. Invest in your soil. Invest in your soil by putting organic matter like livestock, compost, leaves, leaf mulch, obviously, chicken bedding, rabbit stuff. You can buy this stuff off Facebook Marketplace, whatever you want to do. Okay? I'm just telling you. You got it.
This fact was well established by Elder Rawchaa, PhD, in his book of Remineralizing the Soil, Mineral-Rich Content. Modern farming methods rely on a cocktail of man-made chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and other unnatural agents in order to boost production. These chemicals have had a decidedly negative impact on the soil microbes that are key to nutrient uptake by the plants. Most farmers in America, as well as in many other parts of the world, no longer use rock dust nor fulvic acid, both of which are well-known means of remineralizing the soil. Soil without minerals equals mere dirt, not true cropland teeming with microbial life and vitalizing nutrients. In addition, today the use of NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, is commonly used in crop fertilizers. NPK has known properties that block the uptake of copper by food crops. This fact was well established by Elder Rawchaa, Ph.D., in his book Soil, Grass, Cancer, originally published in 1959. Rawchaa was both a farmer and a biochemist who taught biochemistry at the National Veterinary School of France and at the Institute of Tropical Veterinary Medicine in Paris. He believed that simply observing the relationship between farm animals, especially cows, and grass, was more valuable than carrying out laboratory experiments. As a result of his observations, he realized that
I need to watch the Most High's creation. I need to watch the Most High's creation instead of being in some lab. Look how it's cohesive and in unison. Yeah.
crop soil and grasses are properly managed and provided with the minerals they require, the animals who live and feed on them would be healthy, as would, in turn, humans who consume the animal products and crops grown on such soil. In addition, he studied and mapped the elements of the soil and their effect on plants, animals, and humans, and warned against the hidden dangers in modern fertilization practices and the use of toxic chemicals that ignore the delicate balance of trace minerals and nutrients in the soil. Sadly, the findings he published were largely ignored and continue to be disregarded today. Another problem is the widespread use of antibiotics that are routinely used in commercial farming. These have devastating effects on the mineral status of crop soil and food crops, especially with regard to magnesium and copper. Then, once crops are harvested, more chemical preservatives, wax coatings, and other compounds are added to fruits and vegetables so that they don't spoil as they are shipped across the country and to other lands. Additionally, much of our nation's food supply today comes from other countries where food safety standards are even less stringent than those of commercial.
You thought this was a game? These guys, these are top people in these studies. They've known this since the 1950s. They thought this was a game? Oh, I'm getting it from this. You think so? By the time that food is in the ground and sprayed, by the time it gets to the market and waxed up and whatever they need to do to preserve it, you barely got anything coming to you. So, unfortunately, when we stop listening to our God, He put us under these foolish nation of people because life is simple. Life is very simple. You take the Most High made it simple. Your cows urinate nitrogen. They drop nitrogen from eating the grass. So now you have carbon and nitrogen, a balanced ratio that will heat up, break down, turn itself back into beautiful soil. If you leave some cow dung with that hay and you come back 3 to 6 months, it looked like beautiful black soil. He made like little factory machines to make soil for us. Excuse me. Put that thing, mulch around your plant, screen it, whatever you need to do. Very simple. So when they wanted to mass produce, we lost all of this. So supplementation had to happen through our curse. The curses of Adam and Eve and the curses of Jacob. That's what happened. You got metals in the sky. You got that iron sky. You got metals in the sky. Aluminum, barium, strontium. And then you have some of these other nanotechnology things coming down. So if you're not gardening like this, by the time those metals hit your plant, it will touch your roots and mess your plant up. But if you have this bacteria and fungi, the fungi can eat the metals, guys. That's what it does. It eats metals so they can't mess up your plant. Nothing they can put is stronger than the Most High stuff. I learned this in Back to Eden Garden about the chemtrails. If it comes down and you have mulch, that have been breaking down, the fungi will eat the metals before it gets to your roots. Facts.
Factory farms in the United States. As a result, not only are foods today far less nutritious than the food grown by our ancestors, but our cropland is also much more vulnerable because of how depleted of minerals and microbes commercial farming methods have made it. Furthermore, much of today's food is picked before it is ripe so that it can be shipped greater distances without spoilage. It is in this ripening process that the nutrients from the soil, if there, are absorbed by the plant and incorporated into our whole foods. But perhaps the most serious danger in modern agriculture is the pesticide Roundup, known chemically as glyphosate. Glyphosate is a true poison
Fair use.
and chelates or removes all minerals from the soil, but especially copper. Glyphosate chelates copper down to a pH of 1. According to Stephanie Seneff, PhD, one of the world's foremost experts on the dangers to human health caused by glyphosate, that capacity to chelate at low pH means that nothing is capable of stopping glyphosate's chelating action in the soil, plants, animals, and humans. In addition, there are 16 conserved glycine amino acids that are essential to make the key copper protein ceruloplasmin. Glyphosate is glycine with a nitrogen wart. Therefore, Dr. Seneff points out, glyphosate detrimentally affects the inherent production of this key copper protein in our bodies. One of the greatest travesties of our times is that the vast majority of
Spraying glyphosate, NPK, synthetic fertilizers, there's no minerals being absorbed, even if the ground has it. Whatever you get is whatever you get. You don't even know what you're getting.
farmers, physicians, and the public at large are completely unaware about this ubiquitous farming chemical's true impact on this critical copper protein, which is the master antioxidant protein for our metabolism. Besides being sprayed on crops and soil as a weed killer, glyphosate is now used up to 4 times each growing season as a desiccant to accelerate the drying out process of wheat, making it easier for farmers to harvest. Based on our research, Dr. Seneff has determined that it is glyphosate residue in wheat and wheat products, not gluten, that is primarily responsible for the large increase in celiac disease and other gastrointestinal disorders.
Really quick. So mulch is important after the layout? Yes, mulch is important because the ground is covered. The Most High covers the ground with grass, right? He covers it in the wilderness and the forest with leaves in the fall time, and then they break down all through fall and winter. And when spring comes, okay, it feeds the plant. After all the rain and all that, it feeds the plant, okay? That's what happens. You develop fungi, bacteria. You got all of these things that people don't like, bugs and stuff, but that's what feeds and does this. If you go and spray all your bugs away over your plants, your plant won't live. If you're tilling your soil, and you're not putting back, as soon as you till, you start to kill. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, you can still grow good crops, but you better be having them cover crops, cutting them down, add more stuff to it. But personally, if you can really develop a whole plot, which is not an easy thing to do, but if you take the time and invest in your soil, man, that nutrition is going to be straight top of the line. It's not an easy thing to do, though. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's something easy that's an overnight thing. You got to have help with that. You do need help if you got a huge plot. It's a lot of work. You might initially till that ground so you can get your mounds or whatever the case may be, whether rain is going to irrigate or you're going to have irrigation, but you're building that soil over time, okay? But it definitely wants to be covered. The ground needs to be covered, like our skin. Our skin needs to be covered with stuff that's going to feed it. Olive oil, coconut oil, what's the stuff in the cow? The tallow, all of these different things for our skin that feed it. Almond oil, things that are edible for our skin that feed it. The skin needs to be covered. If the skin is not covered, it gets ashy. It does produce its own oil too, if you have the correct diet. Okay. Another thing, because we can't finish it all, if you're not getting copper, you're going to have cholesterol issues. Cholesterol is not a bad thing. The body makes cholesterol if you're not taking it in. But you need to eat healthy fats. not the wrong type of fats. But yes, if you don't take copper, you're going to have cholesterol issues. If you don't take magnesium, your ATP will not work. That's how you make energy. That's how you make water in your body from copper and magnesium. Magnesium is the second missing mineral in the world. Copper is number one. Then you got iodine. We're not playing no games here tonight. This is serious stuff. Don't let people come around and talk about their bodies and tell you what they got going on. Listen, this is universal facts. What's for all of us is for all of us. But we're not here to hear opinions of, because we know each of our bodies work different. But I'm here to deliver universal facts. Okay?
Attributed to gluten sensitivity. It's also worth noting that in addition to being bathed with glyphosate, today's modern 18-inch high hybrid wheat is a vastly different, nutritionally lacking product compared to the einkorn wheat consumed by our ancestors that stands 48 inches high and is brimming with minerals and vitalizing nutrients. Although in recent years there has been a growing trend towards organic farming methods, as well as a rise in the number of Americans who are choosing to support their local farmers by buying locally, either directly from the farmers themselves or at community farmers markets, that still doesn't rectify the problem.
Look at that. If you thought I was telling you some garbage, the organic forms are even going to need years to catch up to the top nutrition of our ancestors, because they are not gardening the same way. Even though they're calling it organic, they're still using some so-called organic synthetic things. Yeah, they are. Okay, organic is the way that the ancestors garden, guys. Putting livestock manure. It's all in the scriptures. They had a compost pile, which is called a dunghill, full of organic matter. Bioavailable things will come from that, from the fungi and the bacteria. The arthropods, the nematodes. Very, very, very important. So even people that's going to farms, and guess what? We can only do what we can do. But I'm bringing this information out so that we can work towards something. Because if you have animals and chickens and little stuff, now you can't deal with dog poop and cat poop. And we're talking about livestock. Chicken, quail, things that we eat like that, right? You can use their things to make a organic garden. Because the term organic can be used in the wrong way too. I don't trust organic even though I buy it. I don't trust nobody with my food except for the one I grow, but I'm not growing everything. It is what it is. But I am moving towards, like I used to garden when I was overseas, back to the old ways. Because through the curses, we have been failed by the nations. But we should have never allowed them to put how we eat in their hands. So we had to take that back to a certain degree with each other.
For one thing, the soil of organic farms still has a long way to go before it will rival the mineral content of soil from more than a century ago. For another, organic...
Do you see how long it takes to build soil? It takes, guys, minimum to build a garden like this. You thought I was lying? People thought because they grow stuff, oh, hell don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you, I do understand this. I do understand this part. Like I told you, I got friends who from Texas A&M horticulturalists. They got plants that you can plant to make it rain. He was telling me, he said, man, before you move on your land, plant some of these. If it's a drought or whatever, it will actually rain when you plant these plants. What? Yeah, they got some knowledge out here, guys, that we're lacking from.
As well as commercial farmers use fertilizers that contain such compounds as NPK, which limit the ability of plant foods to take in and store copper and magnesium. The number one nutrient deficiency on the farm is copper deficiency.
The number one nutrient deficiency, what did he say? Copper. Oh, man. Man, I don't need no copper. I got a lot of energy. What do you mean you don't need copper? That's how your body works. What are you talking about? If you don't want to take it, that's one thing, but you can't go around, I'm good. What? Okay, be good. But I'm going to take what my God says in my temple of what he said it needs to operate to have my spirit on point. Why would I lack? Why would I lack just to have pride? That don't even make sense. Just because I don't want to be wrong about something. We learn every day to get better.
According to Ben Edwards, MD, there's been an 80% loss of copper in crop soil over the past 80 years, and this trend...
Hey, who is Amia? I got 2 types of copper. I need 3 types of copper. What is going on? Who is that? You all right out there?
continues. Based on the pioneering and enduring work of McCants and Whittleson, The Composition of Foods, published by the Institute for Food Research. That fact alone accounts for most of the reasons why our nation's health is in such a sorry and declining state.
You don't need 3 types of copper. You don't. I'm sorry to tell you that.
And the low-fat American diet. As farming methods began to deteriorate, similar trends began to cross over into the American diet. Beginning in the 1920s, for instance, food processing methods were introduced to refine food. Essentially, these so-called refinements stripped out most, if not all, of the nutrients the foods contained. And then, making matters worse, refined sugars were added to processed foods as an inducement to get people to eat them. Few people outside of Miera Fields, Ph.D., and her colleagues at the USDA know that increasing dietary sugar has a decidedly negative effect on copper and magnesium status. Every front has a back, and generations of Americans have suffered from diets centered around processed foods and laden with addictive, mineral-depleting refined sugars. Then, starting in 1941, matters worsened when inorganic iron filings were added to our food system via enriched wheat flour and grain-based products. This practice began in the United States, Canada, and Britain, ostensibly to protect against iron deficiency anemia, a condition that, as you will continue to learn in this audiobook, doesn't actually exist. Yes, that's a bold statement, but it is backed by a raft of scientific documentation. In 1969, this addition of iron filings was increased by 50% based on recommendations by the Food and Drug Administration. Initially, the FDA sought to triple the amount of added iron. Only after dozens of scientists from around the world testified against this action in Washington, D.C., did the FDA acquiesce and only approve a 50% increase.
So when you started to have anemia and they gave you more iron, it's all good. If they gave you more iron, but they should have told you, okay, you're going to need copper to make sure that this iron will be released in your bodies. So you see how they do you? They know that taking more iron is going to oxidize your body and cause free radicals in your body. Yeah, your body will start to rust out like rusted pipes. Let's go. So I'm not going to be able to finish this whole thing, but we can come back on next time to bring it out even more. I'm going to tell you, it is crazy. And we'll just stick with this book for a second on the next show. But I'm going to tell you, we just hitting the tip of the iceberg.
Iron is, without question, the metal that ages us. Please reread that.
Iron is the metal that ages us if you don't take copper. Did you hear what I said? And I sell iron, but I also sell copper. Okay? Iron is the metal that ages us if we don't have copper. Listen to this if you deal with anemia and your family, your grandma, your mama, definitely the women. They have cycles. They're losing blood on their cycles while their body is trying to cleanse itself. They need that iron. That's why molasses and stuff like that is very good during that time, right? That's why like raspberry tea, it has iron and things like that and vitamin C. But what are you not taking? Copper.
Sentence again. Iron is the...
Wait, what you go... Let me tell you. What, you thought I was playing? You thought when I bring these shows out I was playing? That's why I come on and emphasize like this, because I hear so many people who act like they know it all but know nothing at all. I might be quiet, but I know my stuff. If you want to be helped, pay attention and listen. If you don't, go be someone who think they know it all. We none of us know it all. We're here to get better and get our people back alive from being a damn walking dead walking around here. Nah, that's like a proud poor man.
Master Pro.
Sis Rabah, what's the thoughts on using copper in the garden? I believe it does have some function, but the problem is, my sister, it's not enough proof about it. I would like somebody to do it themselves and maybe come on and show us that it worked for them. I've tried it before. It actually killed the stuff in my garden. And maybe I did it wrong. That's just, I'm not gonna say I know everything. That part I tried, but sometimes with copper, like you got some people, if you type in copper, for example, on Facebook, you got people trying to be too deep, and it's a lot of our people, oh, we're electrical, and yes, when it comes to grounding out and things like that, this is a true statement. But sometimes we get so deep, and before you know it, we're in idolatry and witchcraft. But as far as the garden and copper, I believe that there's something to it. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the research is always some type of inner circle witchcraft, septin on the nose, hair done a certain way. They got damn copper all over the place. Before you know it, they looking like a damn AI robot. So, to simplify it, I think it's something to it, but I'm afraid for people to look up earth stones and copper because there's so much madness out there. So I'm bringing you the facts, no philosophy. I mean, you're going to see cats with dreads and copper wires. It's outright nuts. Crazy out here.
Oxidant element on.
And by the way, this does not give you enough copper. I drink it because it keeps the water clean. You might need to leave this water in there for about 2 weeks to get enough copper, but it's going to taste disgusting. So I'm just telling you. But, I mean, you can keep water in there for 5 days. It's still going to be clean. But it's going to have more copper leaching in there, obviously. But you can't get enough copper in that, if you guys just want to know. So some beautiful family gifted me with this in Vegas. Thank you guys again. I'll be carrying this thing around. It's beautiful. It's a blessing.
Planet Earth, and is the principal element behind what is called oxidative stress.
Here we go.
It's also the trigger for the loss of magnesium that leads to chronic inflammation. It's very important to understand how these two minerals relate to each other. There is a chicken and the egg phenomenon.
I can only do about 5 to 10 more minutes, and we have to close out. And I may open it up for some questions, and then we will continue this next time, because anemia is a top killer for people having to go in there and get blood transfusions, weak, can't go nowhere, all type of stuff. Guys, copper, not having copper does a lot for you. And the doctor going to tell you, take this, try this thing, because they get paid off of it. But if they don't tell you, are you taking your minerals? Are you getting your minerals? If they don't ask you that and they just put you on a drug, something ain't right.
Phenomenon in the body between magnesium deficiency and oxidative stress. Given the known oxidative properties of iron, it stands to reason that as oxidative unbound iron rises, magnesium will be lost to that rising oxidative stress. We're at ground zero for metabolic dynamics with these reactions and relationships.
Not enough copper, you will lose your magnesium. Uh-oh, you got nerve damage, you got nerve issues, you got blood pressure issues, you got heart issue. Yeah.
Understanding how iron and magnesium relate to one another is key for identifying how to overcome oxidative stress. This is a very important and critical mineral dynamic to understand. Most of the foods we consume today are woefully lacking in magnesium, and the grain products that comprise an inordinate percentage of the standard American diet are overly loaded with iron, precisely the opposite of what our ancestors ate and what we need to stay healthy.
You thought them adding more iron was good for us. It was a trap. They didn't tell us we would need the copper for the iron. They just kept promoting vitamin C. You see? No pun intended. Yeah. Copper is more important for your iron than vitamin C. Now, you need both because you need the they all work in tandem. The collagen, the vitamin C, the copper, they all work together. But you definitely need the copper. You want to make water in your body? You want to make energy in your body? You better make sure you got copper and magnesium. I wake up taking magnesium glycinate. I go to bed taking my magnesium citrate powder with my colloidal gold and silver. Period. Period. I lift weights. I can feel with my nerve. You ever got on the bar and you felt like you was going to drop it? If you're not consistent in your vitamin C, your magnesium, guys, this is how some people just drop the bar. It's not because they're not strong enough. Their minerals are off.
Adding insult to iron injury was the adoption of the low-fat diet that was originally introduced following President Eisenhower's first heart attack in September 1955.
Low-fat diet.
These dietary recommendations were designed to reduce, even eliminate, cholesterol in the American diet. These guidelines gave rise to the cholesterol myth, one of the biggest medical fallacies still adhered to by many doctors and much of the public today. According to this myth, cholesterol is a risk factor for disease, especially heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular conditions. Because of how cholesterol continues to be demonized in conventional medicine, especially low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol, cholesterol-lowering drugs in the form of statins are today the most widely prescribed class of medications in the United States today. Many doctors...
How many of our people is on this medication and they didn't tell us this? Copper, magnesium, minerals, healthy protein, collagen. Eating these things in your diet. And if not, I need to get in my backyard and make sure I learn how to have a nutritious diet. They didn't tell you, so we're going to tell you on the Gather Christ Church. See, you took iron because it didn't work because you got enough iron in your body already. You need copper. You need consistent copper. And you need to be patient. Don't forget, black people, when we take something, we expect it to work in 2 days. You need minimum 3 weeks to change something. 30 days. You're going to start feeling better soon, but, oh, I took this and it worked. You took it 2 days.
Are even calling for statins to be administered to preteens and teenagers to prevent heart disease. Additionally, for decades, the medical profession has urged us all to avoid eating too much fat and cholesterol-containing foods. But is cholesterol truly the villain in this story? Most emphatically, no. This false narrative was definitively and finally put to rest in a recent study by Rawchaa.
Oh, I'm going to tell y'all something too. If you're really trying to get yourself healthy, you need to try to get alkaline foods. That's one thing I agree with Dr. Sebi about. You know, unfortunately, and this is just, you don't have to do this, but the coffee, if you're a person who still have cortisol issues, coffee, unfortunately, especially if you don't work out. If you work out, it's a little different for you. If you work out and you got different genetics in your gut, because everybody's gut have different bacteria. That's just the truth about it. If your gut is weak and you know you're drinking coffee increases cortisol and stress. You will keep the little pouch right here, the little pouch stomach where you got to wear the waist trainer and all this stuff. Unfortunately, this will happen for men and women depending on your gut. So on top of that, over 35. Okay, it's highly acidic. Caffeine dehydrates you, but so you either gonna work out or try to restart your gut, and then you can get back on it and see how it does. But if you stop off that coffee like a lot of sisters have, and their stomach went down from it, you'll realize, dang, well, it's not that coffee is bad. When they grow coffee is good, but when it comes to the sprays and the mold of when it comes over here, a lot of times it affects different people in different ways, okay? So I'm just putting it out there like that. I'm not an enemy to coffee. I like coffee. I don't drink it. I drink my Lion's Brew, but I'm just telling you, do your research for your body. Even if you're doing some of these things and it's slowing it down, because you're keeping an acidic environment in your gut. If you're over drinking alcohol, you're gonna be dehydrated. You have to know how to rehydrate. That's why even if I have a glass of wine at night or something like that, I can take my electrolyte powder or something at night, or in the morning I got my electrolyte warm drink with my broth. You got to put things back in you. You drink alcohol, you drink caffeine, you'll have to replace it with 2 of that same size of what you drunk. So just keep that in mind, all right? Just for some wisdom.
Hoff, Diamond et al., 2016. Each and every day, our liver produces around 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol. Moreover, studies have shown that when people eliminate or restrict their intake of cholesterol-rich foods, liver production of the cholesterol increases.
I'm going to have to stop it here, and we will pick up back here with the cholesterol and the copper, okay? I need to open up the lines really quick for the people just in case they want to call because it's getting late, and I had to come on a little late. But I will pick it back up here because we will finish the rest of chapter 2 about this because it's straight top knowledge. We just hitting the tip of the iceberg. Guys, we haven't even hit anything yet. From all the information that came out tonight, we haven't even listen. You want to get right? You want to get right? You tired of being tired? Right? So this is the call-in number, 512-915-7135. If you want to call in, I'm going to give it, because I know it's late in certain areas. If you want to call in, go ahead and call in. If not, we're going to have to, we're going to have to close it out. But I had to bring this copper out. I'm not even done. Like, it's just, I mean, guys, so beautiful. This one here is like when I found about the iodine. It's like when I found about the wheat. The Most High keeps bringing these powerful wisdom type of lessons when it comes to diet and nutrition to his people. Oh my goodness. You talking about, I hear so many of our people, I got to get a blood transfusion. I'm going through this because I got anemia. I'm going through this because of my thyroid. Oh, do you take Lugol's iodine or iodor, whatever? Have you looked at that? Do you take copper? Do you take your magnesium? Are you eating enough salt, the right salt? Do you eat high protein? Are you eating good fats? Or are you eating too much processed food? Do you exercise? Do you jump? Do you move? All of these things are very important, okay? So once again, 512-915-7135. If you don't call in 3 minutes, we're going to close the show out. We do have a caller. One moment. G.O.C.C. Media, Elder Rawchaa.
Hello, Elder.
Hey, who's calling in?
I'm Jeremy from the G.O.C.C. Atlanta body.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm well, or at least trying to be.
Okay.
All right, so the title is Tired Being Tired. I'm extremely tired, but I have never been a doctor goer, never been a workout type person, not into the supplements. And now I'm listening to your show, been talking to my husband, just trying to figure out different things. And the copper, I'm looking online. It's really hard to navigate through everything that's here. I just finished looking on your site. I'm just trying to figure all of this out. Do I need to be taking or going to get some blood work done to find out like where I'm deficient? Is that like my first step?
That's a great step to start off with, to see. Now, if they try to offer you a bunch of pharmaceuticals, you have to think about that with yourself and your family. But yeah, getting the blood work done, from a good source is good. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can know, okay, it's like the soil. Some people get soil tests. What am I lacking in this soil? You know what I mean? And what am I lacking in my blood or whatever the case may be? So you just have to check that out first, and then you can go from there. You know what I mean? So I've heard some people tell some people they have a lot of copper, but they still suffering from the same stuff. And it's like, what? So you got to go to, a good place, of course. But I would start there. Like, and I'm gonna tell you something. On my site, on my homestead site, the way that site is ran, like I said, I take everything on there, but I cannot, from the information that we're coming out talking about, you'll notice it says not for human consumption. So it's that serious with these people. And that's just all I can say, you know what I mean? So the only thing that,
like the raw milk.
yeah, exactly. Even when you put raw milk, a lot of times people have to put donation, and it's like it's different in each state. The only thing on my Lions Homestead site I don't take internally would be the it's those I forget what that powder is, the boric acid. I don't take that internally because that's something for yeast infection and just different things like that. But other than that, everything else I take internally, me and my family. So I just can't tell people what to do on that site because of the rules and regulations. But I wouldn't be able to even get stuff to the people. And it's a lot of sites that's like that. There's other people who have to do the same, the same way. So, so I just want to say that. But start with your blood, see what you're lacking, and then go from there. You know what I mean?
Okay. And I found something on Amazon. I'm going to send it to you on Messenger just for you to look over it with the doses and stuff. But it's 13 and 1. And I'm just wondering if that's too much of everything. But it hit on everything y'all were hitting on tonight. It has all of that in it. So
well, I can never tell you about other people's things because I can't do that, because if something happens and I'm involved with that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I had a sister buy something and I told her, hey, see if it got it on Amazon or something. She come back and tell me, she said, man, this smell like chemicals. She said, I just want to buy from you. But I tell people I can't assist them with other people's supplements because China, like Amazon, it's a hit or miss. You got to know what to buy on there. And they do have some good stuff on there. I'm not going to lie to you. They do. But you need to look at all the comments, see what you're buying. And, if you get some China stuff because they copy a lot of stuff. They copy a lot of stuff. They will copy, if you don't have like a trademark or something, because they don't have trademark laws over there, they will copy an exact supplement. And I've gotten sugar water before for selenium. So let me tell you. So you just need to taste it to see how it affects you, and and you just got to go from there, because I don't want to get in trouble for speaking on someone else's stuff, because China be delivering some we can make plastic anything. So
I don't want nothing from China, but okay.
But I got to get to these other callers, sis. Thank you for calling in tonight. All right.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Now, Shalom.
Okay.
So I got a person who asked about the copper according to weight. Now I'm 200, and right now, I mean, I was 210 about 2 weeks ago, but I'm 224 pounds, and I'm about 6 feet, 224 pounds. When it comes to the copper, colloidal copper, for me, I take anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons in the morning and 2 to 4 tablespoons at night. That's me though. But I can take minimum 1 teaspoon to be okay. Hello, G.O.C.C. Media.
Yeah, hi. How you doing, Elder?
How are you doing? Who's calling in?
This is Rawchaa. My name is Rawchaa from the Memphis via Atlanta body.
Okay. What you got for me tonight?
I was calling because I had purchased your colloidal copper.
Uh-huh.
And when I got it, I saw that NFHC on there. If you understand, I don't want to say it.
Yeah. And I just got through talking to another person about that. that type of site, those type of sites, if you know how some people have to sell on Etsy or sell, like you have to do things a certain way just to get things out there to the people, because it's a lot of rules and regulations with certain things. So like I told her, personally for me, I take everything on there except for the boric acid, because that's something you deal with for other things like yeast infection or UTIs. But everything else I take internally. I do, but I can't tell people what to do on there because I can get in trouble. So that's just, you know, it's a if you know site. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got some stuff on there that you will hear Mike Adams talking about. Now they can talk about those things because they're at the top of the top, and they don't mind. They got the money for the lawyers and all of this stuff. You know, they can, you know, like my water purification. I can't even tell you. That's a whole that thing is powerful, and that's all I can say. If you look it up.
Okay. I have some of that also. I bought some of that as well.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with it, because you got to study to know how to use it and how to take it. You can go to rumble.com, like where Elder Rawchaa teaches, and type it in. I'm gonna tell you right now. Look up the testimonies on that thing. Good Lord.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't touched any of it because I wanted to make sure. But yeah, on the silver, because I was the colloidal copper. I was going to try to order from somewhere else, but I said, I believe I can do this. I just think that's a way of protection. I'll just put it like that.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, you got people lying on Amazon telling you can take stuff, but they not following the rules and regulations, but they get away with it on Amazon. And some things on, like, cause I got an actual supplement company, as you know, Key Supplements too, but that's a different license, rules and regulations, two different things. But then the homestead thing, you know, because I make those things, it's two different worlds. And so you can go on Amazon and they're not supposed to even be selling certain things on there. As far as like legally, no. And they do. And they'll just sell thousands of products, make the money, and then when somebody, you know, hits them up later, you know, they'll worry about getting in trouble later. But some of those laws don't, they're not required for some of those laws also overseas like we are in America. So, you know.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much, because I was just sitting on it and I didn't want to do that. I spent the money for it. I said,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much. I just turned 70 and I feel pretty good. I've been doing
Praise the
some
Most
things.
High. Praise the Most High.
Yeah, I got to do more jumping though, because you are correct.
Yeah, it's going to make that blood flow correct. You know what I mean? So just try it. It's going to change your life.
Okay, thank you so much, and we love you out here.
We love you too, my sister. All right now.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. Shalom.
The calls is off the hook. Who we got calling in?
This is Sister DeVore from the Greenville body, G.O.C.C.
Okay, Greenville. All right, shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Good to hear from you. What you got for me tonight?
My question, I wanted to know, and let me turn this off because I don't want it to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I deal with a lot of the things that you discussed, and I've for the longest I've dealt with iron deficiency anemia.
Okay.
B12 deficiency anemia, which they call pernicious anemia.
Okay.
I've also been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
And neutropenia.
Well, listen, you heard a lot of what came out tonight. Have you been taking copper, or you don't take copper, or how's that go?
No, while you was on the phone, I'm trying to find some copper.
Yeah, and like I said, you got options. Everybody don't have to get from me. It's their option. I mean, some people can go online and try different things. Even before I sold it, I tried those things, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to making, my own, and it changed my life. So that's just for me. That's what I chose to do. But if you do take, the pill form or whatever, they tell you just, 4 milligrams to 10, universally according to research. So you don't want to go. 10 is high, but that a lot of times when it comes to 10, it's like athletes and stuff. But usually it's going to be like 2 to 6 milligrams on average, 4 to 6. But as far as the colloidal copper for me, I always start anything new to my body small. I started taking a teaspoon morning and night. And then I ain't gonna lie, I was feeling so good. I was trying to push the limit. I ended up going, I'm at, 4 tablespoons in the morning, 4 at night. I mean, I gotta have it. I feel so amazing. My wife feels so amazing, the children. So the energy it's like the energy finally is just staying consistent. So the pain in my bones when I was lifting weights finally went away, and that I had that pain for a year. And I'm like, 2 days it went away. So I'm like, you mean to tell me I wasn't getting this in the food? And I made that assumption. Sometimes we don't want to take all of this stuff, but I tell you, the copper, it's just like, it tastes like water to me. It don't even taste like nothing. And I put my little magnesium in it at night before I go to bed. And the dreams be crazy though. When you take that, listen, it's crazy because me and my wife laugh at each other. The dreams, when we take, sometimes we'll just take copper. Sometimes let's just take the silver. Let's just take the gold. And then we take them all 3. We be experimenting, but let me tell you, the dreams be but the sleep is amazing. I be waking up too early. I'm like, man, why I got so much energy? So that's what I've noticed for me. And obviously, like I said, I do jump. The jumping took it even to the next level. So I couldn't jump for a while because I messed up my Achilles, but I finally am able to jump after a few years again. And it changes, man, it changes your life too when it comes to blood flow, blood regulation and stuff like that. Because the calves are a part of this, it's like a second heart to get that blood back up to the heart. So just think about that as well.
Well, I also deal with multiple sclerosis.
Oh, you did tell me that. Okay.
Yeah, and my thing, I do have, and sometimes I can't necessarily jump, but I try to tiptoe.
There you go.
I'll hold on to something and I'll tiptoe.
There
and
you
I
go.
have, I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a little board, but it's circular at the bottom.
Okay. Is it like a foot rocker or something?
Almost like that. Yes, sir. I think that is and I can go back and forth with the balance. It helps with balance too.
Okay.
But sometimes I can get on that to help. And they've finally opened up the gym where I live at, which was one of the reasons why I moved here.
Okay.
They actually have a gym on the property.
Okay.
That we could go to. So
start slow then. Just start slow.
When I get myself better, because I just recently had a relapse.
Okay.
And I was trying to, and I was going to ask about that. I think I might have posted it. But what I started doing, and I was researching because I did not want to take, they wanted to give me steroids, a steroid infusion, or either steroids, and I didn't want to take those. So what I went and did, I got, what is this? It's high absorption magnesium, glycinate.
Yeah.
And it's chelated.
Okay.
And I did note that I'm feeling a lot better than I was because all the nerves in my body were firing off, and I was having problems. Even with talking, my vocal cords had started to spasm and get paralyzed and would not move. So I'm able now to talk because I wasn't able to talk. My voice was gone because when I opened my mouth, nothing would come out.
Well, I'm happy to hear that the magnesium helped you. So now tonight, if you go back and listen to my lesson, and I'm going to go into a little bit more about magnesium next week as well with the copper, but let's like I said, let's just try to focus on the Most High's diet as close as we can, and really get those things that's missing, because copper and magnesium from this book, they are like the number one thing we want to focus on when it comes to overall health, copper and magnesium, because when it comes to making water and energy and just all of these other things you heard tonight, we want to start here and just slowly, just allow the body to do what it needs to do and get that body moving. So I'm gonna keep you in prayer, and I hope you come on next week, because we will be finishing this part, and you can actually get this book too, if you want to get it in an Audible or read it, and this has a plethora of information in it.
And the name of the book is
it's Cure Your Fatigue.
Cure Your fatigue, and I deal with that too.
Yeah, and it's the root cause and how to fix it. It's by Morley M. Robbins.
Morley M. Robbins.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so right now I already got I got some magnesium. I'm gonna get this copper.
Okay.
And I was noticing also, I saw some that was bio available, bioactive, and chelated. Would that be okay?
Yeah. The main thing is making sure it's bioavailable, that it's going to be absorbed in that gut the right way. That's the main thing you want. You know what I mean? And being consistent with it. The consistency is the most important part. So if something is like one of the number one things that people are missing, is showing the world that, hey, it's something that we all need to be dealing with on the regular. Obviously magnesium, 500 milligrams a day, 450 to 500 a day, regular iodine, regular salt, healthy fats, healthy proteins. Collagen needs to be 30% of our protein a day. Eating that chicken skin, getting that broth. And if we need a little extra, taking obviously collagen powder. And I have to say I have one of the best, because the other ones be tasting like paint. So
okay, because what I had been doing is taking, like, when I don't do the pork, but I'll do turkey. Don't do a lot of beef, but I'll take the bones from the turkey.
Okay, there you go.
And I'll make my broth from that.
So
I drink
that's
that.
type 2. That's type 2 collagen. So you're gonna you want to get some beef collagen too. Broth? You need some beef broth as well.
Okay, then I'll get the bones.
Yes, ma'am.
At least I know that way I know exactly what's in it.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, bless you, my sister. I'm going to try to get to these next caller, okay?
All right. Thank you so much. You have a blessed day, and I appreciate the fact that you are doing this. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. I got to do it. Christ sacrificed himself for the people. I'm going to sacrifice my time and my research and try to help our people the best I can. My sister.
The water.
Yes,
you have a blessed evening.
All right,
a great day
you
on
too.
purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Shalom. All righty. I think I missed a few calls here. I missed a few calls. So, let me see here. New York, NYC. Hello?
Shalom.
Shalom. I think I missed your call on G.O.C.C. Media.
Yes. What I'm calling about is that I bought from Elder Rawchaa, the colloidal copper.
Can you turn me off in the background? Turn me down. It's kind of conflicting. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. One second. Let me hold it down. 1 second. All right, I bought from Elder Rawchaa the colloidal copper. And and it says on the bottle that it's not for human consumption.
Yeah, I just got through talking to 2 people about that. So a lot of people don't know about sites like that, like things people sell on Etsy or so on Amazon. People are not supposed to sell some of these things, believe it or not, and they tell you can do this and do that because they don't have the same rules and regulations as America. But that site that I have, I can't put those things or people won't be able to get it. I won't be able to get it to the people. So like I'm gonna say it like this. I consume everything on that site except for the boric acid, because the boric acid is used for UTIs and yeast infection. Everything else I consume. Me and my family, we consume it all. I wouldn't sell something that I don't use, but I just can't. I had to follow the rules. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Because I've had it a while, and because I didn't really know what to do. I just had it sitting here because I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to keep it. I wasn't sure if I could have.
No.
That's why,
yeah.
I just came home from work, and I just came into my house and I said, let me put you on one time, because then I normally listen like from the beginning, but I couldn't. So I was looking at it, I'll look over it again. So as I said, let me call in and see, because I'm a bit shy. I don't want to be on.
Yes, ma'am.
But so I just wanted to know if I could use it. So I'm so happy that I spoke to you tonight.
Yeah, like I said to the last caller, I started off with a teaspoon in the morning and a teaspoon at night, and then I moved up to, believe it or not, a tablespoon morning and night. Then I moved. Now I'm at, and you don't have to do that. You got to just listen to your body. But I'm a big guy, so I take like 4 tablespoons in the morning and 4 at night, because that's just, I love it so much with my energy. So just listen to your own body and decide for yourself, you know, if that's what you're going to do, and you just go from there.
Okay, thank you so much. Because I find my feet swells. Well, when it gets hot, my feet swells, and that never used to happen to me. I just turned 60. I'm in good health and everything else. And just as I just find my feet swells, and I'm a very healthy eater and stuff, but I just want to make sure that my body is functioning properly. So
yes, ma'am. The minerals are very important, though. It's like the magnesium every day. The copper, as we were reading here, and I'm going to come on next week, but the minerals are very important when it comes to and you got to try to do some little by little, trying to eventually start jumping again.
Jumping. Okay.
Yeah. Little by little, and make sure you're eating collagen. Collagen is supposed to be 30% of your protein a day.
Well, to be honest, I've been a vegetarian for like 20-something years.
Okay.
I use the powder. I take the powder like.
Okay.
I was listening to one of your videos, and I started taking. I have the powder in my house, and I wasn't really using it.
Okay.
And so since I listened to one of your videos, I started like taking it every morning.
Okay.
So I mix it with the milk, because I do the kefir also. I bought the kefir from you. And I do the kefir like every day. Only when I fast, I don't take it,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
I do the kefir every day. And when I'm not going to lie, my body feels. I feel really good. It's just that I find when it gets hot, my feet swells, and it really bothers me a lot. So I'm going to try to do the copper from now on. Thank you so much for hearing me out.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the questions I want to ask. My son lives in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And he wants to find a buddy in Texas. And I've given his number to a couple of people, and so far nobody has reached out to him. And,
I'll get him in contact. We have a body in Austin. Send me his number on this number here. Just text me to him and his name, and I'll give it to the Deacon Amontaza out there.
Okay, thank you so much. I can text it on this number. This number I'm calling you at, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Elder. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you. Okay.
Okay, God bless you too. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Shalom. Man, we got the lines is ringing off the hook. Listen, y'all know I got to get my dinner. Wait, somebody calling from WhatsApp? We can't be calling from no WhatsApp. What's going on? Somebody call from WhatsApp. Unless it's like a number from overseas, maybe. Oh man, I'm trying to make sure I'm not. Okay, I missed this number here. Hold up. Did I get this numbers? Let me see. South Carolina.
Shalom.
Shalom. Did I miss your call on G.O.C.C. Media?
I spoke to you earlier. I'm the one with the anemia and the neutropenia.
Okay, gotcha. I'm making sure I hit everybody. That's all good. I'm sorry, my sister.
All right. That's okay. Tawada so much.
No problem. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
I wanted to make sure I got everybody as much as possible. So we gonna wait till next week, and then we're gonna answer some more questions. But thank you guys for your patience and your time. Like I said, listen, I came straight from, I was planting trees all day. I was planting huge trees and using the post hole digger and the tractor, and I've been working all day, and I came straight in on the show. So, my time is for the Most High and His people, and I pray that everybody, got edified tonight. And if you stay tuned next week, we will finish and go through this, because it's powerful information. Not only am I talking about it, I'm living it, and I understand it, okay? And what I don't understand, I will bring you to the people who do, okay? So this is a powerful book. If you want to order it, man, this book is powerful. The Iodine Crisis, Cure Your Fatigue, powerful books. What I don't want you to do is be all over the place. See, I don't want you, man, try this, do this. It's nah. That's what happens to our people. Man, do this, I do it. Nah, keep it simple. Keep it very simple. Exercise, do cardiovascular exercises, build muscle. Eat the diet the Most High told us to eat as clean as you can. Eat healthy fats. Eat healthy proteins, with 30% of that being collagen, so that the 10% that's left over is going to go and actually fix your body. Like I told you, that's how collagen works. It turns into amino acids, and then there's 10% left over to go and fix issues that's going on in your body. Leaky gut, inflammation, all that. Creatine is even on point. They got studies out there, and you got to do your own research. I can't tell you what to do. That they've been lying and telling people that creatine wasn't good. They got studies out there saying creatine help people's brain even all the way down to the children. Y'all better get y'all mind right out here. We not playing, okay? And don't forget to go to historytimes.org. If you want to donate, go to gatheringofchrist.org. Go to donate, okay? If you want to give something specifically to elders in areas, go to gatheringofchrist.org, pick donate, pick the congregation, and pick that specific elder or deacon, whoever you're trying to donate to. But we got the head elders, Elder Rawchaa, Elder Lawya. You can donate, pay your tithes, whatever you want to do, but you go there to donate, okay? It's right here. Peace and blessings. Make sure you go to historytimes.org if you want to join our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Like I said, we will be coming on once again next week if it be the Most High's will. Peace and blessings. No stressing. Get your mind right.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy.